some real G's. From your size to my size, real G's, them I know we. I just grind out in these cold streets. I've been grinding out before 03. Growing up around some OGs. Your size to my size, real G's, them I know we, them I know we, them I know we. Flames I can swear on my mother's life, I can't see them boys in the cold streets. Flames I can swear on my mother's life. Respect my brother.
Yeah man, respect Romez for coming true, you mate. You done it. Obviously my night rooms is not really new to obviously this place here, cause this is Nottingham, you get me, Kingdom spot where Notts generals do real things. So right about now it's only right to have another general from Notts, you with me, who's a part of the MOOR Lines family tree in the house to, you with me, conversate with the people then to obviously let the people know what time it is, cause right about now real hood niggas have to come together to obviously set the thing straight. And also right about now this is what we're on, street education, so we have to educate the streets
all day.
MOOR Lines all day, every day, you with me? So generals and generals have to come together to obviously unite and unify, you with me, and say one order, you with me, hood to hood, end to end, city to city, you with me, worldwide, you with me. So this thing's about each one teach one, so we can reach one, you with me, and once we reach one by one, we're reaching all of them, you with me, and that's what it's about, you with me, reaching the people, reaching the family tree, and you get me, bringing back our family pride, you with me, as real lions do, you with me, that lion pride, you with me, cause we're real kings, royal kings, you get me? So it's only right that UK has united kings, you with me, where we come forward and we build up, you with me, one order the thing, you with me, rise up, you with me. So as an old general myself, I'm Wince, you with me, young raw, you with me, whoever's been following MOOR Lines, you with me, respect for obviously supporting, watching, continue to tune in, you with me, and share this what we're doing here in Nottingham, you with me, car. It's not even just about Nottingham, it's about inspiring all of you lot to do the same in different cities, different communities and different hoods, you with me, here in the UK and air and out everywhere else, you with me, in the world, cause we're doing this worldwide, you with me, we're here to change the people and the mindset, you with me, get their mind right, you with me. So as we do that, you with me, love again for coming back true, as you're always true here anyway. So as we do now, we're here to talk to the people and say, yo, what's gone wrong, family tree? Cause you're a veteran out here just like myself, you with me, and so I'm just saying, talk to the people about what's gone wrong and how it was when you was growing up, or when we was growing up, even before the foolishness, how it used to be good when it was good back in the day for the elders. You with me? Give them a little history about Nottingham, cause enough of them going like they know about the streets, but they don't know about the streets, Romez. You know they don't know about the streets.
There's a lot in Nottingham right now. Obviously there's a lot going off. So obviously, like you say, we have to know your history.
Definitely.
You know what I'm saying? So you have to know your history, even the environment, what you're in. There's a lot going on now in 2017, and half of them don't even know the issue of Nottingham before they even come to the days today. You see what I'm saying? So obviously, before all the foolishness, like you're saying, it's all about what we're doing now. We're coming back to our roots. We're trying to find unity. It was about unity before. You know what I mean? It was about obviously a sound man, things with my dads and parents and.
Big up your pops as well, driver, salute elder driver, you with me.
Obviously,
Always brings his true MOOR Lines and shows his love, you with me on Kemet FM all day, card. He's one of the elders what supports MOOR Lines, so shout out pops, you get me, driver every time, you know. So yeah,
basically, yeah, it started from
all the sound man.
Youth Mondays, obviously, that was that inspiration in it. From before even football and all them little things there, it was your parents' was music in it. Like our sound, obviously my dad used to have tapes and records, all them things like that. So them times me growing up, I used to have little decks and teeth my dad's records and play them and sound class my bedroom couple doors down because he thinks his sound bigger than my sound and them things there. So yeah, it was about unity of sounds and getting together, and obviously music used to bring people together, innit? So I used to go to places with my dad, like Tennis and all. We used to play there, and you used to have the older man, them like Sealer, which is Pod in it, and what's my man's name? Big Mac. All them olders there. We used to have the tennis, we used to have things go on in. You see what I'm saying? Where these places what we've got now, these buildings, tenants are not even getting used to them.
No, it's a different thing now. Yeah.
Right, and that's
something to do with the government.
We had unity. We even had vans that used to pick us up to go to boys club and stuff like that. Donovan used to come round in his van and say, "Bam, we're kids in it, we can't get down there." So they would come around in the bus, everyone sees
You got man like Donovan as well, them elders there.
And yeah, man, it used to be about unity, youth clubs, music, and obviously from them youth club days, you start getting to your football and little things there. I used to play for a Radford football team, Carrington, you know what I mean? I went to a Radford school, everyone was all one, man. It wasn't really no dividation in us. There was probably like 1 or 2 areas which you say Anza Meadows. Everyone else was just linked up and it was love and you felt free, you know what I mean?
But even before that, there was once upon a time when St. Anne's and Meadows wasn't even wearing your still good. It's only too late after that when big man Shane, R.I.P. Shane passed away. So those are things what caused division. But prior to even that, even there was no, all the elders knew each other.
That was like what I'm talking about, tennis on all days. I didn't personally know Shane, so obviously, like what we're saying, we're only born into what we know, innit? So, yeah, I sort of just come around tennis on all days, and obviously I heard about that Shane thing, and obviously, yeah, that was.
So then that's when, like
I only grown into know Stanza Meadows was already beefing.
So that's when you know about the road life. Then you're talking about the street side of things,
Yeah, so that's what I've been growing into. So when you go, same time I'm growing up in St. Anne's. You know what I mean? Because obviously I've grown up in a lot of areas. Basically I was in Radford. Radford flats where obviously everyone's in Nottingham's family's been in them times. Then we went to Binghamton Street. Then we've had a lot about a good 10 years in St. Anne's. So obviously the mentality around there growing up, you had certain elders. We wasn't directly involved in the beef, but the mentality in the area was, because you're from St. Anne's, automatically you're not going to deal with or associate with no Meadows people like that, or people from the other side, what we call it now. And all these elders was obviously running around making a lot of fast money and stuff like that. And it was coming up.
That's what we see.
4 brothers in my household, and my mum can't, and my dad can't provide everything. And there's nothing that you want when you're a youth. You know what I mean? But we can't have. So sometimes
you have to go and get that yourself.
We start seeing other people with things, and we start feeling like we're left out or we're behind, and we start.
You want to keep up with the Joneses, basically.
Right. So that's when you start seeing all these. When I see it as a bigger picture now, temptation, the devil, and it's flashing these temptations in your face. You're saying, we're here, look, you can get this. Come over here. So them times when I was growing up, that was influencing the streets a lot. Drugs and people making fast money. You want to get what you want to get, so it leaded me to a kind of a wrong lifestyle, do you know what I mean? Where I was stealing motorbikes, cars, stuff like that, because 15, 16, 14, you're thinking about getting 16 and getting a motorbike legally and whatnot, so your parents can't provide that. My parents would provide that, I would have cut down a lot of crime, but we ain't rich and we're not coming from a rich family or rich background, you know what I mean? So it leaves us kind of in a struggle to see, and we go out there and we start committing crimes, you know what I mean? Which is not really a good cycle, but it was the psychology of the time.
He wanted it all. He always felt that he wanted it all. He wanted it all. He wasn't prepared to come down in the street wars. It never moves sideways, it moves proper. Still got goons on the alert, living like them squatters. In and out them hot yards, on the go, never stop. No time for that part, but certain guys was taking part. Snaky with a snaky heart. It's too late now, we should have seen it all from the start. Cause feds them are raiding yards, oppos on the roads and feds them are stopping cars. Plus watching yards, and things ain't looking up nice. Overall, Jimmy was doing cool, but he felt that he needed more. He needed more, he needed more. Jimmy was doing nice, he felt that he needed more.
And these are the things what obviously makes the youths them turn to crime. Then is that what you're saying?
These are the things the first things what you start seeing when you start coming into the streets for yourself, innit?
Okay, you're right.
Obviously these are the things where we go wrong in the first place, because these are the things what cook to the mind to not even understand.
That's what pulls you to the streets.
Basically, we're distracted, innit? There's a lot of distractions within life, and that is a big distraction. You see what I'm saying? Chasing and striving for the wrong
Why is
things
it? Because it
within
looks
life.
nice.
Yeah, and we see that from early, so we've took that in our brain and thought, yeah, we're gonna run with this. But what comes with that is a lot of badness. You see what I'm saying? It comes with obviously a lot of territorial stuff, because obviously that thing is, oh, I'm around here, what you doing around here? So now another man's on your patch, and it's just so territorial. That's why we boxed ourselves in, because you start getting territorial. People are staying in the area, thinking the area, this is mine, what's he doing around here? Why are you on my patch? It just got political. What we was chasing was money, but at the same time was mashing up our
community.
Yes, and we're mashing up our
relationship.
Everything, the whole thing. We didn't even start the relationship before we were mashing up, because we already set out with the wrong mind state. You see what I'm saying? So yeah, that's where it went wrong, man, because when you're just chasing money, you're not really caring about no one. And obviously, you can get mixed up with people because you're on your thing in it. You're chasing. No one not trying to. No one not getting in your way of your mission. Yeah. So, just say you got into a mix up with someone over a little bit of money, or you're falling out. And if it's a thing where you're getting into physical, it's a physical thing now. And every time you see each other, it's physical. So now you've just got into a situation with someone. But what's the root of it? The root of it is you're chasing. And you two fell out over money. You see what I'm saying?
Because a lot of friends even do that as well.
Everyone's trying to get this and get themselves out of the struggle, because most people I've going around have come from struggled environments and struggling homes and stuff like that. So everyone's trying to just crawl out of this bucket, like the crabs in the trying to get out.
And pull each other down at the same time.
Yeah, so sometimes people will knock all people down to get out of the bucket, and that's how it's. That was the mentality, and that's why obviously certain things led into certain things after that. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Right, obviously area postcodes and stuff like that, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely. So, would you say that affected the relationships even between like different communities, but at the same time even the elders then, because what you're saying now is taking place, that obviously because the youth them are obviously youth over there on their thing trying to get that paper chase, and a man's over there getting their paper chase, and like what you says, different fractions are starting to gather their territorial patch or ends or community or postcodes now. But this is even before we even talking about postcode, because postcode thing's still even new thing, because it wasn't really a postcode thing, it was just maybe an ends thing, but not a postcode thing. That's like follow fashion of Bloods and Crips, some joke thing now, you with me?
But it wasn't direct posting, but it was like an area thing, because obviously if I'm winning my little patch, obviously everyone wants to make their money. So if you come over and you're my little thing, or your teeth in my little, so now you're taking money. I feel that obviously I'm losing out, I'm waking up, I'm not getting this, I'm not getting that money what I'm meant to be getting today. You took it. So now it equals evil in it and badness, and people with obviously negative thoughts to do people wrong and stuff like that, because I feel that you're taking out my pocket. And furthermore, you're not even from around here. So this is what I'm saying, this is building up to territorial stuff. Why people are that mind state in the first place when it got territorial is because we already set out wrong, and we already made ourselves territorial by obviously making the money and saying this is ours, and it's not.
But they still don't even own. We still don't own the streets anyway. But what I was trying to say that didn't that by us creating that, what you're saying, didn't that even affect sometimes the elder generations in the community? Because by us being the sons of these people now, we're not asking our parents now because we want to go and get this paper chase ourselves. Doesn't this affect the elders by obviously with that lifestyle? Sometimes like we're beefing now because we're on territorial beef thing, and if we're not beefing now, some of us are getting locked up. So didn't this affect the elders, or ain't it still affecting the elders by even us going down that road on that paper chase, or some of the youngsters what see the elders with things and they want these things, and that's the way they choose and end up getting themselves into problems, either jail or death?
Well, obviously, it's like it's saying, it's just a chain, isn't it?
Vicious circle.
It's a chain. Obviously, at the time, the oldest didn't know, obviously, what they was doing, what it was affecting on the people underneath them. You see what I'm saying? Which was obviously, me at that time, was obviously I was a person underneath them.
So you were the younger.
So, like you said, it wasn't territorial, but the person underneath, he's taking it more serious. He's looking up, he's thinking this is cool.
He's getting serious at each time.
Yes, at each time, the same chain gets more said, but the older, at that time, he wasn't understanding where we're looking at life now. We need to watch what we're showing the youths and little stuff like that, even watch what we say and certain things. But at that time, there wasn't no certain things wasn't good enough, so we wasn't in that mind state of not showing the youths this and not showing the youths that. It was one of them. And we wasn't thinking of the damage what was going to cause within the long term. You see what I'm saying? Because it wasn't even an issue that we didn't see it as an issue because we was blinded. Even the elders, which obviously led that down, they was blinded elders. That is for us that when it got passed down, we learned off. You see what I'm saying? And that's how it is, man.
Yeah, man, you're right, man. So, what do you say this, by us following certain peers, certain elders and not having certain guidance, what would you say that does that affect us as an individual what's obviously going through that transaction from boyhood to manhood, not having certain good role models or certain elders around you to obviously either give you something positive to do, give you something to keep yourself occupied, and someone to show you something from right from wrong?
Well, I don't really. What I'm trying to think now is the occasion when I was obviously coming up. If anyone did come and show me anything positive, and no older really did. Any elders that I kind of knew at the time, what I thought they would show me positive, it wasn't positive. It just showed me how to go out there and get money. You see what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. The elders didn't really know the damage what they was causing within the chain behind them. You see what I'm saying? Because you're showing them how to do madness at the end of the day. Right, we're in 2007, we're trying to not show you, so there's more routes to go down than this one route. If the elders would have sat down and showed us some educational shit, then we would have took on some educational stuff. But everyone, all the elders was running around and doing their stuff and filling their pockets and probably using us to fill their pockets at the time, which has led to obviously them not knowing the damage they're causing. You see what I'm saying?
What we say, man, creating monsters.
Yeah, man. That's what I'm saying. They create that kind of mentality. You see what I'm saying? So yeah, that's what I'm going into. That lifestyle. That like.
And what do you say that lifestyle leads to? Because obviously I know that on that lifestyle of what we've walked here, many things can obviously occur. So tell the youths them obviously what obviously think they're about this life. Tell them about obviously how the thing's not pretty really and truly, or the people who, or the youngers who may think they should follow certain people like that. You admit, like me or you, like, no, that's Rose, or no, that's Wince, or that's that man or that man. You get me? Might not be us, it might be a next man who they look up to, but tell them about the real struggles.
Well, I know, obviously, from my full history, obviously, it's been a good like 15 years, probably longer than that, you know what I mean? And all I know is you just get lost or you end up dead. You see what I'm saying? Because obviously I've got an older brother, you know what I mean? He's done a long time away through obviously certain mistakes you make.
Part of the MOOR Lion family as well. Shout out AG, free AG.
Well, basically, certain time you go through life and you make mistakes in it, but certain people make bigger mistakes than others in it. So my dad, I used to always hear my dad saying to my brother, when he's seen him, it's only going to lead two ways. You're going to end up dead or you're going to end up in jail. But obviously, us coming up, we haven't seen the end of the book. We haven't seen the end and where it could go. We're only seeing the pretty things that start, how it looks. You know what I mean? So obviously he was trying to tell us from early, but we never understand. That's what's taught 1 year, come out over here. But I've seen it with my own visual eyes. I can really back them words what my dad used to say to me now. It only leads to jail.
And look what happened to AG.
You know what I mean? And it's long. It's long. The roadway is long. The quicker you realise it's long and you start doing it the right way, you got a head start. You know what I mean? Because if you start doing things from legal earlier, you're ahead. Because then the plan was started. If you don't make sense trying to start legal in your 40, you're kind of behind. There's a youth that's 21 and he's trying to go legal from 21. He's kind of ahead. So if you can get on this legal thing earlier than the legal thing, you're going to be ahead in life because you're going to end up going back to being legal anyway. So you might be successful doing things illegal for 20 years, but that's 20 years you've lost. And when you get caught in the end and you go to jail and you're sitting down and you realise you haven't got nothing, you're going to realise you're going to come out and you've got to go back to square one. And you've wasted 20 years out of your life, or 10 years, or however long it took you to realise, you know what I mean? You're playing into their hands.
Because some man have got big figures, some man get IPP, and we got so many soldiers locked up in the penitentiary, you admit, to the street life, blood. You admit that's why they need the street education to obviously make them know that the streets ain't a pretty road. You admit it's the concrete jungles, you admit, where it's a dog eat dog world. So that's why real lions have to do real shit, you admit, and start saying, yo, we're not on this dog life really like that. We're here to know that, yo, we stand for something, you get me? We're lions out here, blood, you get me? Because we got them lion hearts, you with me? So we're the ones what's gonna fix and change it. Only us, you with me? For us, by us, like Fubu, you with me? Old school. So you with me? All them real generals might have to teach the youngsters behind him, like, yo, blood, the things what we used to do. It's not proper, you know? Cool. It's not cool.
You have to watch your actions, what you take as well. Like, it's not even all about, I'm not just trying to be in one concept, like obviously drug dealing. I'm on about all concepts. I'm on about robbing, all sorts.
Because we do enough things.
Whatever you do, it all leads to the same route. Like, go and get yours legal, and you won't have no one troubling. You won't be playing into their hands. Because when you're playing into their hands, you're giving them this card to come to your door, to take you out your yard and let them do what they want to do to you. That's the card they're waiting for you to give them. Yeah, so once you give them that card, they're coming for you. You know what I mean? Like, obviously, I've got a good friend, you know what I mean, Jerome Webster.
I'm glad you said that, because you know, because you just said car, we have done things where obviously sometimes what goes around comes around. Not to say that, but when we do badness, things reaches when we don't have to do things.
I've lost friends in
car
crashes, in stolen cars, get chased by police. So obviously don't leave, you know what I mean? Obviously you're not in the league.
R.I.P. even Dizzy as well.
So you're gonna get chased by the police. So it's not, it don't make sense. It does not make no sense.
I agree with me. Even Tintin went jail. Like, bare things what happened with amongst the man them car. We're all one generation. We're all one people. If you think about it, you know. So this is what happened amongst our time, our life, and affected everybody in different ways. You know, to where even Oze, look what happened with Oze, you meet all till today. So life is too short, life is serious. You got one friend what died, one friend what went in jail, one paralyzed and lost a leg, you meet one person you admit crippled and rem dog, you admit you get me ramping with the yardies, etc., beefing your own brothers and sisters, you with me? And by beefing your own brother and sister, one person obviously has enough. Next minute, if it's not a shot, it's a stab. Where it was a stab at the time, man gets stabbed. You get me? You can't take back the stab, man die. It's not a joke thing.
These are mistakes what we've already kind of made. Mistakes. I've got friends that have made. So obviously, it's to pick up and knowledge yourself. And obviously, like we say, like schools and things, they're educating you about what's going to really happen within. Outside of obviously the school and within real life. You know what I mean? You need real life skills as well. And obviously if you've seen someone go down that road and make the mistake, why are you going down the same road? So please man, just take our little advice and understand that we've had people that have done a lot. You know what I mean? It don't make sense. I mean, it don't make sense. Like
but you're here to tell the story.
People might see me, meet Romez, this, that, and I've so-called obviously thoughts are how I am, but obviously at the end of the day I've been there and I've done that, and I'm here telling you that don't make it, man. It's not making it. All this bad man thing, all this robbery thing, all this fast cash thing, it's not making it, man. You know what I mean? We're playing into their hands right now. We need to rebuild and reshape and find ourselves. And we lost that because we set out in the wrong path. That's what I'm trying to say at the start. We wasn't set out the path to even. We hadn't even fought history, but we already running into chasing down on it. We're chasing down the wrong things from the get-go. We hadn't even looked at unity and uniting, or even finding our own issue, or even where we come from and them things. Them things weren't even in our mind. You know what I mean? We just had corruption, so that's the wrong story, the wrong perspective what the olders did put out at that time, which
the oldest wasn't showing us those
the community.
The oldest wasn't showing you back then things did. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Which it messed up our community for a bit. You know what I mean? Because obviously bad things happened within the time. You know what I mean? Obviously his postcode was coming through now. People was kind of heartless anyway. because they're running their little empire thing or whatever they're thinking they're running, and they're heartless anyway to everyone. It don't matter. It's all the same. So if I get trouble with someone else, it's all the same. We're here to do our thing, innit? So that's the mentality of you when you're chasing.
I'm almighty.
Yeah, man. That's the mentality of you when you're chasing.
But you ain't on shit, you get me? Because you're on evil, like you said, that's the only thing you're on evil. Hurting your brothers and sisters around you and hurting people's family trees and people's parents, because obviously somebody gets affected, you get me? Just like obviously when like Brendan or somebody gets killed and them things there, you with me? R.I.P. Brendan as well, you with me? People, obviously, like I said, one people go to jail, so it affects their people what go to jail, but also it affects obviously the brothers and sisters and the mother and father what lose a son.
Innocents get tied up, because you know
all innocent.
Brendan was an innocent person, you know what I mean? Brendan Lawrence, R.I.P. my friend.
Yeah, man, R.I.P.
A lot of late nights up, stress, couldn't sleep. I'm losing Brendan and Junior is so deep. A lot of pain in my heart, fam, I felt weak. Add me like Lord, please. Cleared up from 14, eyes wide open. Never knew there'd be so much sagas, emotion, mad deeds. I'm still trying to find my way out, but there's a lot more that I need to.
Yeah, man, alright.
Obviously, he was like one of the humblest guys I know. You know what I mean? He was quiet, kept himself to himself. He didn't really mess around with certain things, but he was around certain people who are living a certain lifestyle. And he was in the wrong place at the wrong time, with the wrong car at the wrong time. You see what I'm saying? So even being around the lifestyle, or certain lifestyles, not make it, because everyone's mind ain't straight.
But how much time can we look at them and say we've been in predicaments where obviously you could have lost your life, I could have lost my life, or next man of our friends could lose their life, where obviously someone could not be sitting here. That's how you have to pray. Yeah, you might not be sitting where you are at this time, or you might be crying for one of your friends or family. Like, it's not a joke thing, you with me? And people are taking it as some joke thing just to think, yeah, I'm gonna go and shank my man because I'm on my thing, or I'm gonna go and pop my man because I'm on my thing, where it doesn't pay off. You with me? Just like look at R.I.P. both man as well. You with me? Look at
myself, 2000 and what, 2, 3 or 4, 18. You know what I mean? I'm in the car, running up and down. You know what I mean? Obviously, I've even been shot myself. Because it don't make sense. You're gonna hurt your family. You're hurting. I don't even want to explain the list. It goes down the line. There's too much people around. You know what I mean? From friends, families, kids. You know what I mean? It just ends in tragedy at the end of the day. Someone's either going to be locked up or like, you know what I mean, not here right now.
Definitely, man. You with me? Because obviously at the end of the day, most of the big people or the people who are warring, their family, either they are family directly themselves or their families know each other anyway. You with me? That's why I said, like, obviously R.I.P. both, man. Because
got me thinking to myself, is this what life is? Real jiggers on top turf, I still can't believe that we're burying both first. Send my love to his mum and Cam, both man sitting down there in a better place. But we soon meet one day, when I reach to the wonderland. I shed tears away, I shed 10 tears today. To the Lord, I hope and pray. Can't believe we're burying both first. Real jiggers on tough turf. I shed tears away, I shed 10 tears today. To the Lord, I hope and pray. Can't believe we're burying both first. Real jiggers on tough turf.
It affects the family, even in that tragedy there. You with me?
Everyone's
many tragedies.
Everyone's, you know what I mean? Like, I know obviously certain people I don't even see, certain women people, their dads and our dad used to play sound, dreadlock days, so obviously like for us to come up and war and going through certain things with each other, it don't make sense. I remember I got in a situation with one nubby, I don't really want to call the names and that, you know what I mean? And his dad called my dad, and these two were brethren from way back. It's like me and you being brethren and our kids, it don't make sense. So obviously they made the phone call, linked up, and we both linked up and sat and I realised, right, this don't make sense. You know what I mean? Because when I really think about it, I can remember his sister coming to my yard when he was younger and vice versa. It's just so mad. So sometimes you used to have to think what they're doing, because sometimes you move reactions and you do certain things, and when you realise what you've done, when it's too late, you realise, you know what, he was my family, or he was close tied to my family, been to my yard. Do you know what I mean?
You can't give him back his life, or you can't take that person out of jail, or whatever's happened. You with me? Yeah, you're right, man. You with me? Somebody's getting pained or scarred somewhere down the line. It affects a lot of people. It's like a ripple effect. You with me? With me, direct and indirect. You with me? From the mothers to the sisters, to the brothers, to the cousins, to the baby mothers, to the child, to the grandparents, everybody. You with me? So through jail and death. You with me? So you're right, man. So.
Obviously, when you're living your lifestyle, innit, obviously you're not thinking about your actions until obviously in a situation, and you're thinking this lifestyle is gonna last forever and whatnot, until you realise you're sitting down in jail. You know what I mean? Because no one don't really show that it's these are the improvements what we need. You know what I mean? We need a bit more guidance from obviously us and obviously certain older people. It's not all about us pointing at the youth. You know what I mean? Because if the guidance ain't there, they're lost. And the craziest thing to say, my guidance, I had to find my own guidance. My guidance was when I sat down in jail. Because sometimes you don't even have time to sit down, and this is what's missing, the missing key.
And that's what it is. I even sat down in jail and thought, like, reflect on big things.
If
like
I would have went there, I would have sat down. Because I would have been running up and down. So sometimes you need to sit down.
That's what matures you, make you grow.
Obviously, because we're living within this life and you've got things to do, so you don't really sit down too much. You could sit down for 5 minutes, 10 minutes. It's not enough time to sit down and really reflect on life.
On your life anyway.
Yeah. So when you really get a big sit down and you're reflecting on life in a whole, because basically the day I went to jail, I was out on the street. I've come out that day and I've never gone back to my home that day. I've never seen my flat again that day. It was a whole life changer. So yeah, before I went there, I didn't really believe in, obviously, I didn't really have care for other people's feelings. I can say I didn't really believe in a God or not like that. Not to say like, obviously, I didn't believe there was someone up there, but I didn't directly have no one sitting around and show me, so I didn't even know there was so much losses and so much mad. I didn't really believe, I was living my life, I didn't really look.
You're living for physical things.
I didn't really look if there's a God or not like that. Until I've been through the lessons through myself. I say there is a God there, he sat me down, he made me go to that jail that day. Because I was running around too sporadical, I wasn't understanding, I wasn't even giving my mum time or your family time. It's about time. It's not even about money. It's about giving people your time, innit? You know what I mean? It might take a little 10 minutes. You know what? Let me sit down with my mum for 10 minutes, see if she's alright. I'm just in and out and not thinking about, even if going past your grandmas and your aunts, let me see if she's alright. I mean, you know what I mean? It's all about time.
My life too short for
you know what I mean? Trust me. So obviously, he sat me down. He says, you know what, you're running around too much right now, you're doing a lot right now. Right now you need to sit down because you're not thinking what you're doing. And you're going to end up in some more trouble where I'm putting you now. So this is what I'm saying, before they used to lead themselves into trouble, they need to sit down and think before the consequences of where they can lead to. So when I'm sitting down now, I said sit down now. So I'm in jail now, sitting there. So I'm thinking, what am I doing there? And everyone's fighting to get out. And let me tell you something. Everyone who I know, you don't matter what kind of crime, from the high crime to the low crime, when you're in the jail, everyone's praying for help. Yeah?
Everybody wants forgiveness.
Everyone's praying for help. Yo, I hope I bust case, yo, I hope I get out. Yeah, you're praying for help now, but when you went in, did you pray? Did you even pray when you got up in the morning to say, yo,
thanks for life.
Thanks for today, and little things, fam, what we take for granted. You know what I mean? But now we're here in this situation, everyone wants to pray. He's not going to answer your prayer because you're only praying because you're in need. You aren't even showing no respect on a normal day to wake up and say, yo, thanks God. And then now you want him to come and save you. You want him to come and save you when it's too late. If you'd have prayed before, he could have guided you. See what I'm saying? So I realised it don't matter who you are, don't matter how bad you are, everyone's going to pray and everyone's going to chapel and going to find their roots right now, aren't they? So yeah, I realised, yeah man, at the end of the day, this makes sense to me now. There is a God up there, there is someone up there. So obviously I learned I done 2 years in it, and I can say I felt if I'd have got let out within the year, I would have learned my lesson. I was eager to get everyone's in there to come to you and say, "Guy, you're running out. You're running out. You ain't looking back." Yeah. But really, they didn't let me out within that year. I wanted to learn my lesson, because that year I thought I was ready to get out. But the other year, what he gave me after that made all sense. You know what I mean? It made me understand, obviously, certain things. There's more to life. You have to understand about the little things, the things that we're taking for granted. Even walking to the shop, you know what I mean? The little things. So, yeah, man. Sometimes you can make a negative situation a positive situation, and you can see it don't even make sense going on the negative to sit down and try and work your way out. Because that's what everyone's doing. Everyone's looking for God. So even teach me about morals, Dan. Like, I'm out now. Pray. Why don't you wake up and pray this morning? You don't even know what blessings you could get that day from you praying from when you woke up in the morning. You know what I mean? And I'm talking like I'm some church man. This is my own beliefs. This is why I want to bless me. The higher power gave me and put me in certain boxes. You get me? And that's who teach me from, the higher powers. And the people are walking out thinking the higher powers like what I was on. You know, make it, because there's higher powers up there, and everything's getting watch what you do, man, and all your actions. And he is up there, because he sat me in that box. You know what I mean? He sent them signals down to say, yo, sit this shit down. That's what it was. Supposed to get in this, so know yourself. Right now, you ain't thinking.
You're not better than me.
I got you out here, now you're moving some next way. More time I was doing, probably chasing more temptational things, which is the devil, which is the root of evil, then more blessings things. So that's what he said, no, right now you're one of his workers right now. You need to sit down and think about yourself. You know what I mean? So, yeah man, time out, sitting down. Some of you need a good big sit down still. So, sitting down and thinking is a big lesson for me within my life. You know what I mean? It's made me think about everything and come out and try and make this negative positive.
So all about your life. You're on the roadside for mine. Trying to get all about your life. Still moving, but we on the wire. Still trying to get all about your life. Too busy watching my grind. Watching my wall about your life. So what about your life? Tell me about it, come and tell me about it. About your life. Tell me about it, come and tell me about it. Tell me about it, come and tell me.
We're here researching and going through history and re-guiding our wrongs. We're re-guiding that for history to be here now. You know me, we're re-guiding. We're trying to show you what we've done. It don't make sense. Because you've seen me out here for a long time, and I'm here now saying it don't make sense because I've been down and I've seen it with my first eye. So it's long in it. So it's for them. So DVDs like street education and more people to push information.
And for those who are beyond not in them, because like you said they know you, and obviously certain people at a time will know you. But for those who don't know us, then Carl, what we try and deal with the world. Right. So when we deal with the world, some people might not know I and I, you with me? But what's going on here, this is what we're trying to say. This is history in the making, Carl. You see, he's got the MOOR lion tee and I got the MOOR lion hat, and this is street education. But we was from different streets in the sense of, yeah, he lived in Radford. We all went to even same school, and I used to part with his brother, me and his brother like that. You get me? Growing up, but because of this turf war and man sectioning themselves, and even our mum dukes and our elders know each other, us as youngers, we start picking up stupid beef. But don't obviously, yes, in our area it concerned because we caused that division there. You with me? But the same way we call that division now, we're here to rectify it. We're here now to say, even though he's from base and is a base general, and I'm from Raddy and I'm a Raddy general, yo, as real kings, we come together. You with me? We build back up what off our mistakes and our wrongs, what we've done in our life. You with me? Cause I ain't holding no feelings with him, and he ain't holding no feelings with me. And obviously we know that it's bigger than him and it's bigger than me. We're brothers. You with me? I'm not his enemy and he's not my enemy, because Babylon will pull him, Babylon will pull me, and I can even tell you stories where we're together and Babylon, I will pull both of us. That's how it really is, and we're both biting up the Babylon, because that's what it is, one order. But what we're trying to show you now as generals and as elders now, this ain't a pretty thing. He's been jailed, he's been shot, I've been jailed, I've been shot at. Man, pull out choppers, wetters, and we're in this concrete jungle, like I said. But like I said, people get hurt. You waste your life, you waste your time in jail just thinking. And some people think and they don't learn. But for those what think and do learn, we have to come out and do greater things and do positivity and build back with our brothers and who are like-minded, who want to do positivity too. You with me? Because we can't go back and forth in jail. You with me? We're not about to get smoked and get stabbed up or get shot by a next nigger or next brother, because that's just a waste of life. When they talk about waste, man, you with me? That's what I say waste, man, is. If you end up getting dead for idiotness, that's a waste, man. If you end up in jail for some idiotness, warring with your peoples, that's some waste, man thing. Because what's going on now, like you said, in 2012, in 2017, it's early elevation. We have to elevate, we have to rise.
We need history lessons from early, like obviously like within the school team, like we didn't even know under the team.
You're right, we didn't know Jack.
For me to grow and rise, and when you look at your art history, it prevents you from doing certain things to your own brothers, because you're realising, okay, we was blinded, because that's what I'm saying, we sat at a house with the wrong mind state, we sat at a house thinking about money, yeah, and obviously we're not
thinking about next man like that, your brother
about
anyway.
all the badness with it, what it brings, you see what I'm saying, instead of us knowing about history, because like you said, there was an area thing, obviously me and you didn't see eye to eye for a bit and stuff like that, we start thinking we was somebody, you know what I mean, and
because you think that you're better than each other.
Was we even educated to be anybody? Could we educate anyone at that time and tell them that we couldn't? So why do we think, why do you coming up and thinking to know it all, and we think that we're ready and we
man was following
you know
you because of your foolishness, and man was following Wince because of his foolishness. So anybody from base what think that they're on this thing today, you was only obviously following Romez at that time, or Wince at this time, or me at this time, whoever, and we was doing foolishness.
Obviously we was misguided, so we didn't know better because we didn't know our history. So this is what I'm saying, once we've started to go now and start finding ourselves, because this is what it is in our black community, we have to find ourselves, and this is what you hear everyone say, but this is, you have to take this aboard, you have to find yourself, no one ain't gonna come and put it in place for you. This is why movements like MOOR Lions and DVDs like Street Education can help people find the root and the core of the self, you know what I mean, because it ain't getting put on the table for schools, ain't showing us a thing, we don't know. So when I'm looking at another brother or causing another brother harm over the root of evil, which is money or whatever circumstance, or a little fallout, or I stepped on my trainer or whatever, we're not realising it's a bigger thing than that, because I've just killed one of my brothers and I've just helped them do it.
You've helped the system, you've helped them. You've helped Babylon. You've helped Babylon.
We're doing that ourselves. You know what I mean? That's how it was foolish, because then we in postcode wars now, and we're wiping out each other. They don't even need to come out and wipe us out no more. We're doing it, they just kick back and pick up our dead bodies or carry one of us to jail. You know what I mean? Because obviously we was blinded from when we stepped out our door in the first place, thinking about chasing money and not finding our roots. Because we didn't know we needed to have to find our roots ourselves at that time. We thought, yeah, we're going to go and learn certain things, and we're growing in this English mentality, and England ain't our roots. You know what I mean? So we've been growing in this mentality and learning their history, like we're saying, but this ain't our, it's been dividing us as people and dividing our mind state, and we're not even knowing, when we're looking at another brother, it's another brother, we're just thinking it's just another colour, like you're saying, we're from England, we don't really see race like that sometimes within skin, because we're growing up as youths them times, white, Belgian, Asian, we're just looking at another man. It's not even a brother to us, but when you realise your history, you realise, you know what?
That is my brother.
Oh, right now, that's a big thing. You know what I mean? That's one of your brothers, but we don't even have to be direct. We're all from the same place, bruv. We all come over through the struggles, through our ancestors, through our family, we wasn't just put here.
One family tree.
You know what I mean? So we're here, growing up, living what we know, what we're going into, and this ain't us, this is our country, this is our roots. So that's why the older you get, you start seeing people going back and finding roots, because that's what you have to do, you have to go back to the roots.
So then, alright then, cool. So what do you think the school system then, obviously we went to Blue Coat then, yeah, do you think the school system educates you about the roots, about your roots anyway?
Not really, not for a black youth coming up. Because
Not any school.
remember, Blue Coat and most other schools, it's more like Christian and Catholic and all them white people kind of religions, yeah. Like, even the history, that's when I used to find history boring in school, I used to hate it. The history, like I'm saying, the history where we're gonna thinking, yeah, that's sick, or if we start hearing about certain things within our culture, we would have picked up and thinking, yeah, that's us, or that could have been my uncle, or that could, you know what I mean, or that could have been your great, or whatever. It didn't click to us. Because it wasn't on about nothing that could click to us, and there was nothing there for us within the information, bro. So that's why I didn't feel it. It was just it was like forced information, fam.
It wasn't giving you nothing power to make you know who you was.
Yeah, even like sometimes you do geography and that, and they start talking about their backgrounds and these things. I'm thinking, yo.
Lose interest.
It just didn't feel appealing to us. If they would have put something on our table from our culture, you probably would have picked up kids' appeal from our culture. You know what I mean?
So then how do we sort that out then? Do we add to their curriculum our thing, or do we say no, we just want to set up our own school just like the Asian people ourselves, boom, boom, and not rely on them and their schools? Like you said, it's European schools, like you said, Catholic schools if it's Trinity, Roman Christianity if it's Blue Coat. So do we step out of those things and create our own thing, or do we just implement our thing into their thing? Or do we just have our own thing and rely on ourselves, boom, boom?
Obviously, however you can get into the system, innit? So obviously
you
have to, that's what I'm saying, like we can't start dividing ourselves fully and looking at ignorant people, you know what I mean? Because you can run the black schools and whatnot, but at the same time you might have certain people still going to the normal school, but that needs to get run into the system. That needs to be in the system from early, because once you understand your history, you once have left school and done certain things you done when you left school, and certain things I done when I left school is because I didn't know my history, and then later on when I find out my history, then you realise,
what was I on?
I was lost, and it don't make sense people being dudes them coming up now, waiting until my age. I'm 32, and you could be 16, 17, 18. I've been there. I was lost. I didn't know my history. I didn't know what I was on.
You didn't know that was a king.
I realised where I was at when I was about 27, when I was finding my history and realising certain things, where we've come from. And if that would have been there from early, not 27, I would have took it on from early. But it's missing pieces, isn't it? It's missing pieces when you're in England, because this is not their culture. It's not, so they're not going to feed you something that's not theirs, isn't it? You know what I mean? So yeah.
So, but do you think that obviously we as a people accept their culture? Because at the same time we are powerful black people, and as powerful black people, we are trendsetters. So don't you think we are powerful enough to obviously set our own trend? Because we do set trends, but they follow us, they rob us, and then we get no recognition of nothing.
Obviously I see people in our own culture kind of lost where they're following their team, but it's not even about their team, they're already following our team. Even from the dress, through the music, like the history of music, even from like back way before my time. I've even seen documentaries like old school, where obviously they had their little jazz thing and that, but they start nicking our beat, our kind of style of beats.
Like Motown,
man.
The swing kind of thinking from the soul and jazz.
Everything's been sold, so why do we need to go out and switch up our persona? We don't. We should carry on believing.
Embrace ourselves. It's more of their thing. Now even the black people are pushing out their thing. It's not our thing what they're pushing out, because it's not making us know who we are. Yes, you've got the few odd artists what push out real shit, but other than that, you've got people who pushing out some fake ass shit where that's polluting the youth. Then that's why man don't even know who they are no more. Why man are riding on each other.
To start coming to terms and start coming to reality of what we're really living in. Because we know what we're living in, and everyone wakes up at different times in it. So
and the women are powerful as well.
Yeah,
they are powerful.
They can be sitting down and watching this and thinking it's not just about them, but it is. It's about all of us together. We all need to realise.
And know that the women can stop beef. You get me? If they spoke to their baby fathers, cousins, brothers, etc., they could stop them from doing certain things with their children, because they're mothers as well, their sisters. So the women are the key to a man.
We need
the women are key to a man.
We need more women rising up as well, you know what I mean, and trying to put stops to things where you can put stops and put changes to things where you can put changes. Because we, as man, we can't do it all alone. We need the women and we need the man. It takes the whole team together. This is what I'm saying. We can't just be halfway. You know what I mean?
But some women don't even probably want family nowadays, so that's what you're saying. So when you're trying to come with...
I'm not talking about family, I'm on about knowledge.
No, but it's not even family though, but it's like accepting that. Remember, women want to be this so-called, the way the media puts it anyway, independent women. So because they're independent women, even if you're not talking about obviously relationship-wise, or you're not talking about building wise, in general, they don't want to hear nothing off you as a black man, because at the end of the day, who are you to tell me? Remember, this is a Willie Lynch thing. We've got even though man are beefing man, we've got beef with women kind of thing as well. It's all a spiritual thing. They've turned everybody on each other, so the women need to break their spells too, and say that at the end of the day, you admit the black man is key to them. The same way they're key to us, they're key to them.
Obviously, we have to realise it don't matter if you're together with someone or not together with someone. At the end of the day, you're two people who've got a little kid together that's coming up. It's all about doing what's right for the youth. So obviously, the woman might be awake and the man might not be awake. You see what I'm saying? So it's all about understanding what we're living in. We're all living in the same boat, if you're a man or woman. Right now, the way that's empowered, because the system empowered it that way, because the system have given women more rights. Basically, they give women more money through the entitlements, which is drawing man out. Basically, before, you had the man that would go work and the woman who would look after the youths. So then the woman would need the man and the man would need the woman. Because you need the woman to do the woman role, and you need the man then to go work and bring the money to the house. So you needed each other. Without one, it don't make sense. And that's why you used to have more man and woman together back in the day. Now the system is the man. He earns the money, you don't need him in your house anymore. We'll give you all the money. Yeah, you're cool, run with that. We'll look after I don't need the man in the yard no more. What's the man in the yard? What are you my yard for? This is why you got to work alone. So now we can the kids, because the government already gave the woman, here's for you and you don't need him no more. And then they're working on top of that. Why do I need the man in my yard? He's holding me back right now. I got money to travel the world. I'm trying to travel the world. He's here.
So it's not about love, it's about money.
Yeah, man. The government. It's not even about that. It's about understanding what the government's really doing to us, and obviously what we're living in.
Yeah, but I'm saying to you, when I say it's not about love and it's about money, it's about like what you're saying at the beginning when we're talking about street thing. What was chasing us was obviously trying to get stability. In the sense of you wanted this or you wanted that, you wanted the glitz and glamour. So even if they're working to get their glitz and glamour, so more love to the women, to better their life, some of them rather be on the benefits to get that extra money, if it's not the child benefits or whatever form of support it is.
Even if you work, you get
it's the love of money.
You get support, fam.
Yeah, so it's the love of the support. They don't need you there.
Yeah, no.
They don't need you.
It's not even just about money as well. Obviously, governments. The entitlements what they get, the government's made them feel like that. They didn't see this coming. The big people in the office, they've already, before we've said, yeah, then right, we're going to start doing, giving women these benefits for the youths then, before they even planned that and says, yeah, this is going to start from today, they knew why they even planned it.
Yeah, the big agenda.
They're trying to break down households, fam. They're trying to control that. They're trying to, a car, you can buy a car, you're the registered keeper, you're not the owner. That's how they're trying to deal with us with our youths. Because you come in your yard and take your youths out, and why are they taking your youths?
Because they own you.
Because we're dealing with you right now, you're going through us. They're coming to our school, what are you teaching them? No, if you don't take them to school, we're going to fine you. Because we don't want you to teach them, we want to teach them. So they have to come to school. If you don't come to school, you're going to get fined. So you force it, your kids got to go to school, go through it. They want to grow up your kids. You don't need the man around. This is why all these things are in place now, why we've got more broken homes and why we've got more youths coming up right, and it's just so mad, bro. It takes the women to realise as well what the system was trying to do to us on the whole, for us all to fix it up together. You know what I mean? Because I could be fixing up my side, but that side might be getting worse, and my son might be getting influenced in the wrong way. Because it's, you know what I mean?
It affects us
not
all.
realising what we're in. We're all in the same thing. Men, women, we need to realise right now our culture is in a fight, and we need to fix it up. We've been fixing up pieces for years. We're in 2007. We're in a different space now. Everyone's got this mind state of realising what I want. So we need to carry on doing beneficial things,
movements,
any aspects we can do, from youth to any other aspects.
Real people just doing real things in general. So for your real sister out there, you have to just do a real sister thing and just build up. If you're a real brother out there, you have to do a real brother thing and build up.
Let's just wake up and realise what we're going to try and guide our youth away from the madness, innit? Because we already know, if you don't know, it's going to take you a while to realise or whatever. You might be guiding youth the wrong way and realise it's too late, but some of us are awake in it, and we're trying to put that impact back on our youths and them things there. So it takes the man them and the women. It would be better if more women, well, I can't divide it, because there's probably enough women, you get me, but it's better if more of us start coming together, men and women, like what you're saying, realising what we're in, and we need each other to get out of this.
Togetherness, yeah man.
Yeah man.
Cause we are a broken family.
We're just going to corrupt up the youth, what we're doing now, and then it's broke down, and you're not understanding how we're bettering. Because then we're just going to be wiped out, the youth have just been growing up in the wrong way. You know what I mean? And they're just going to carry on there. It's just mad, bro. So we need to start attacking it from our youths up, basically, from early.
But then obviously we even need to know, like, the women need to be telling, like the elder women need to be telling the younger women that obviously you need to respect yourself as well, and know that obviously it's not about those things what you're talking about, just partying, going out,
the latest, putting a picture up every
the latest this, the latest that, latest dress, makeup, whatever, or even chasing man. Cause enough girls out there chasing man and not even looking after the youth. But it's vice versa, man are chasing girls too. So you admit, social media.
When you didn't have this in your hand,
social media.
You couldn't get away with certain badness because your people are watching. You could have your auntie, you could have 5 people in the yard. Certain bad things can't happen. But now I'm seeing people on the phone talking. I'm seeing kids doing madness, and I've come in so much yard and I sat down and I'm thinking, what? That kid's going in, and the one that's on the phone, and the kid just done something so bad, and left another youth right crying, and he's gone out the youth and he's gone acting like it's not him, and the mum didn't even
pay attention.
Yeah, and the youth clocked that the mum didn't clock, so he's clocked that he can get away with things, and it's growing up youths from early that they think they can start getting away with things behind the parents' back, which is the bad things from early, which is long, because we're distracted with this.
So parents should obviously know that your parents get out of
those
things, they get out of social life.
When you can go to bed, then pick that up and have a little time.
And obviously look after our
children. We can't stop making
children.
This social media run our lifestyle. It's good to have it every now and then, like the youth in bed now, this is a little thing, but we can't stop making it take over pictures, everything. It's corruption, man. It's trying to lead us to live our lifestyle a different way, how they want us to lead, innit? We're losing our roots, man. You know what I mean? The roots of certain things it's not in the phone anyway. You know what I mean?
You're not showing your culture.
Real connection with your kids don't come through phones. It's come just that little time. You know what I mean? So them little things you're missing through the distraction, we need to just start clocking those little things and
Cause enough of man wasting time when they're behind bars every 2 minutes, lock up, and you're missing how many vital years with birthdays, Christmases, whatever. You know, we don't do them pagan things, cause if we do them pagan things, look into them holidays. But I'm on about the significance of, like you said, my brother, time, precious time. You're missing those precious times with your youths, your family, your loved ones, your mum. Cause I've been in jail with man where man lose their mums, lose their dads, lose their even children. So, and it's not nice to be locked up and you lose a family member and you can't go to the visit. You get me? Not the visit, I meant to say you can't go to the funeral. You with me? And they're visiting you, telling you the story or what's happened on the visit, and you can't do nothing about it. You got to go back to your cell, banged up in your 9x9 or whatever it is. You with me? It's a joke thing. You with me? So you need to know that life is serious, life is precious, and we need to build up our community. Real generals do real things, and real general essence. You get me? Come out, support the thing, blood. You with me? So each one teach one, push the thing, and like I'm saying,
that's what mine is itself and start looking into the history, innit? You can't read, there's things on YouTube and that. The more of our people we get looking into themselves, the more we're going to start making progress. Because once you look into yourself, into your history, the rest makes sense. Do you know what I mean? And that's it from there.
Yeah, but us generals need to be doing odd things, because obviously
that as well.
Man going like they're generals, you admit, or they're doing badness, or they're known for badness. But what of your name and your reputation, your credibility? What are you doing of your reputation? You're not doing nothing. So of your reputation, do goodness. Inspire the youth for greatness. Show them how to be more. You get me? Do more. You admit? So we have to lead by example now, because you admit, like I was saying earlier, man used to follow you off your foolishness, man used to follow me off their foolishness. So if you got any mans who follow you off your foolishness, or women who are role models but other women follow you off foolishness, inspire your ladies and your sisters, inspire your brothers, come out and do some real shit, and let us hear like, no, my man did this, my man do that. You admit? Because boom, we don't like to call that name, but when a man does a real thing with A, to obviously give it credibility. You admit? Nines used to be around in the ends, giving out the turkeys and all those things there, bought the youths, them trainers, etc, etc. We salute them things there. But then when man do foolishness and you're warring and you're beefing and doing all them things there, you get me? It no makes sense. So you're showing the youths them one thing. Yeah, we do good and we can build back and we can support the community and we should live in love. But then when we banging each other, you admit, and we're promoting them banging each other, it makes us like look like idiots, like, you in me, because confused, because it's meant to be about this. If it's about money, about the money, and obviously doing constructive things with your money.
Back to your community.
Yeah, build back.
Obviously, not black people. We love to get
well, we salute Nines when he does his good. Get me more love, more power, more life.
And we're quick to run off. Instead of coming back to where we started and rebuilding from the start. You know what I mean? And that's been going on for a long time as well. Within our community, people get themselves in a good seat and they want to rebuild or want to run off and do the plans with obviously the white man them, or the money's going back to them. They need to come back to the community and start obviously feeding your community back. If you know you've started from there and you've suffered from there and you use them behind your stools, come on. You already know, let's just put back now, innit? So that's what it takes, like what you're saying.
Supporting and investing in one another.
Man.
For real.
So we're building our team, we're quick to run and rebuild their team up and give them their money back. You know what I mean? And yeah, we'll buy your house and your little thing. No man, let's start rebuilding our team.
Be a role model.
Let's take the money back. Start building over there, and you know what I mean? Let's take all the money from here and take it back there if it's that. We need to realise what we're dealing with. Start rebuilding up things that are even ours, and then certain people could get in a situation where the financial or whatever, and they lose the thing and it goes straight back to the system. You know what I mean? We need to start building up things what are foundated for us, so once either it can get handed down and whatever, if you pass the next man, it's yours, innit? It's brought, we need to start moving like that, man. When people get in certain good seats within our system. You know what I mean? You don't even have to be money, it could be obviously work-wise, you could be in a good seat. Anyway, you could
giving people opportunities. Yeah, I got a little job here or whatever. Yeah, man. Do this or do that. Just man.
If one of us get in the door, the rest of us should be able to get in the door. That's what it takes. But obviously, as black people, sometimes we get in the door. We think, yeah, let's shut the door. We're okay. No, man. Just keep the door open for everyone. Give everyone an opportunity. What you've obviously elevated yourself to. You know what I mean? If you can.
Definitely, yeah, that.
There's obviously there's people who's just chasing the fame in it. Obviously, they just want to be someone in it. They want to chase the fame, but when you chase the fame, what message you left to even get there within the messages in your tunes? It could be even 10 tunes till you got to your little fame. But what message have you left in these 10 tunes? You've left a mess to even get there. You see what I'm saying? Them certain real man there who are doing real, trying to fix up our thing. Cause it's all about we're here for a long time, so we need to do what we do with our time while we're here. Yeah, and obviously you haven't done nothing. You just got to your fame, fair enough, but you've mashed up your team behind you. The real man then will see that, and they weren't waiting for that. The realness is from the realness, and real people will start seeing that. Back in the day, like I'm saying, the oldest wasn't showing us good stuff. So when we was talking about so we thought it's cool to be real, the realness ain't the gangbanging no more. That's fake.
That's fake. That's played out.
That's fake.
We've been there, we've done that. We did it. We boss gun, the rundown, man. It's done.
Yeah, man. You know, if you're doing that, you're not bragging about that all the time. You're not bragging about that all the time because everyone's done it. So. What, is that new to you?
Must be. That's why you got
man, that's new, man. That's old to us, man. It's boring, it's played out. The real man then will see the realness within your music. So just keep it real. Even if you don't get signed for being real, keep it real and try and push for getting signed for being real, innit? So you can make more of this come through.
Push the change, push the change, man.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, definitely. So, what would you say that's to the artist? Then what would back to the elders? What would you say to the elders to try and regroup and rope in the elders? How did they get involved in this? Tell them to come and get involved.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what it takes about. Obviously, it takes about everyone linking up. Obviously, we're trying to do down from obviously my generation downwards. You know what I mean? Obviously, it's not too late to come and inspire us. We need your inspiration. We don't know everything. We don't know what happened before I was here. You need to come down there, put your little input, inspire us. Let's all work together, man. Cause we don't know everything. There's certain pieces of the puzzle that you know before. Why you're not doing something? Why you're changing, man? Now, so just help us with these changes and this knowledge and information. Cause information of each other and empowering each other with the knowledge, we're ready to go and take it on it together. And some of the knowledge is with some of the oldest, innit? You know what I mean? We're here to
So it would not include that, stop the dividing from the elders what are in churches, in religion buildings, to come out to the actual street people, because we are the street people where, because they're caught up in that religious world and they go to Sunday church or Saturday church or go to mosque on Fridays or do whatever they do. Don't you think they need to come to the real active people on the streets and get involved with the streets, the community, the raw people?
They do, but obviously like we say,
to bridge the gap, just to bridge the gap.
We do, but obviously remember there's different times. So some of them have already been brainwashed from earlier. Whereas they've been brainwashed for so many years, it's been like a good 30, 40 years now. This is what they've been brainwashed with. So you just cut them out there, they will argue with you for a good 2 hours and say, no man, what do you mean? I'm not coming at the church. And
they're not really fixing the problem.
They're not really realising that what the problem is, because they've already been fooled by the white man.
But that means they're not doing most of those work.
So obviously it's for them to, this is what I'm saying, it goes with finding your own single history, because the church ain't our history, fam. It's about finding your history, the oldest and the youngest. Once you start realising what your history is and doing information, you realise what you need to do next and where you are now.
Naturally, spiritual.
You know what I'm saying? Them people who run in church now, they already lost. Even though we try and go and empower them or whatnot, because we all ready to work together. It don't matter what kind of religion we're trying to empower our thing and build it back. So it don't matter if you believe in the church. Right now, we want them in, but some of them, they will argue with you for 2 hours because their belief is what they already believe, and some of their belief has been brainwashed into the system what they're growing in, which is an our system.
It's just about what's right for us as a black person, as a black sister, as a black brother. That's what it's about.
This is our system. You know what I mean? I know man who've grown up from Ghana and they've come here and they say, yo, when I come in I'm seeing people shaking and talking about they got diabetes and all them things. They say they don't even know about them things in this country, fam. Sugar and all, they got sugar grows on trees. Everything we got is natural. We are getting food with all this man-made stuff in England and we're losing our natural roots. You see what I'm saying? So obviously some people are already blinded and been guided away from all the natural roots, innit? So,
and the mothers need to cook natural foods for the children, so the children can live on, so we can live on, because they cook our food, they cook the children's food, and obviously it's about everybody knowing that right about now we need to know our cultural. Yeah, man, you're not my enemy, I'm not his enemy, and as black royal kings, king is a king, I'm a king, we need to come together and show that the kings and kings need to round up, you with me? And through this now we can show our mums that they can be proud of us, we don't need to go to jail. We don't need to hear that the sons are getting killed off by obviously one another and definitely by the system and the white man's, you with me? So right about now, we're burning out all spells upon us, you with me? And we're here to say no more deaths in our community, no more homeboys need to get locked up, no more homeboys need to die, because we've got too many scars, you overs, too many. Because I've lost too many soldiers, you've lost too many soldiers, and I bet you've lost too many soldiers. So if you're real like that, come, let's one order the thing and build up, you with me? So, you with me? You don't know, love and power is all the time for coming through, and obviously I respect you for the things what you do, you get me, because you're by my side, and once upon a time we wasn't by each other's side. You with me? One order rise up, you with me? Show them more lines, right, because that's what it is, one order, one family tree. You with me? That's what we're doing.
Before this thing don't
make
make sense.
You with me?
Clean up the streets.
Clean up the streets.
Street education TV is giving you the knowledge, real street knowledge in the streets. Yeah, let me give you something. Roads, lots.
More life.
A lot of pain, a lot of struggle. Riot, destruction, a lot of rubble. Hard times equals hard crimes. Mum do struggles, council calls, dead men, use them and trying to eat peace. Cause it wasn't really around to help. And all it's really out here for. Bit of wealth, get a rise coming up, maintain, stay while he's trying to put some food on his damn plate. Plus he's trying to put some food in his mum's shelf. Hard times influence a lot of used to juggle. Get a life where we're trying to live above the struggle. And even the feds are corrupt, it's getting more bait. Where they're trying to frame a jiggle, don't want to see the day.
Fuck feds.
Where we can book a flight forever and fly away from the good of your states. All they know is get food, got cheers, get papes, trying to get a slice on the damn plate. But I know that there's more to life. I'm trying to get my family out this gully estates. It's hard when they're stuck in the gulliest way. Youth them are coming up, getting recruited every day. It's getting more bait, another saga on the road. More pain, another family with heartache. Listen, I fought the government because they just want to label us and see what this paper does. I'm done with that flaky stuff, and now we've got the youth working with minimum wages. And then they wonder why they out there licking razors. On the block, every day. Still trying to fight for my rights like them slaves did. It's cold in my life, fuck David. He couldn't walk a day in my shoes, he wouldn't make this. But right now I hope and pray that all my jiggers make this. I said right now I hope and pray that all my jiggers make this. From ready to stand, to meadows to base. Knots, life and family for life. Please be the journey, hood to hood, ends to ends.
Our people are poor, and you know damn real nobody wants to be poor. This play is going to show how the pigs react when the people start to take community control over what belongs to them and liberate it back.